Hello FlossTube, my name is Sarah. I'm from Memphis and this is my channel about cross stitch. Welcome, welcome. Today is Thursday, February the 22nd, and this is FlossTube number 35. Oh, I'm so happy to see everyone. If you're new, welcome, and if you're not new, I'm so glad that you're back. I hope everyone's been doing great. It's been about 2 weeks since my last FlossTube. That sounds like the opening to confession. I feel that. You know what? It's been an interesting 2 weeks. I have a lot of stitching to show you. I have some FFOs. I have some FOs. I've got community updates. I have a giveaway winner. I have a new giveaway. Yeah, I just got a lot to go over and I'm really afraid I'm going to miss something, but let me just start off by saying I'm sure that you all can hear my wind chimes. It is super windy here today, like major gusts of wind. I just saw stuff flying across the yard. The wind chimes are really large and I can't take them down just to do the floss tube. My husband's not home. So anyway, let's see. So I'm sorry if the wind chimes get on your nerves during the floss tube. My apologies. Out of my control at this point. All right, so the last couple weeks have been busy. My husband was out of town. Believe it or not, y'all, I got really sick again. You know, I was feeling bad a couple weeks ago, and this was like, it came back, but it came back like, whoa, bad. Like, if you can think of a symptom, basically I had it. I did not have the flu. I did not have COVID. I thought maybe I did because I found out, like, on a Friday that I had been exposed at my bunko by my partner to flu A, and then one of the other girls we were playing with ended up, she found out she had COVID, so I figured it was those, but I tested negative, and my grandson was super sick too, for like longer than I was, and I was around him, and he was negative for everything too, so I don't know, I'm glad I feel like a human again, and I'm back to real life. So I spent a lot of days basically just like sitting in my stitchy spot and sleeping, and then, oh, I'll wake up and stitch a little bit, and which is like more than the last time when I was sick, because I was still going to work and everything. This took me down. I couldn't go to work. I was running fever and all the things. So anyway, I do have a good bit of stitching done. Maybe not as much as I wanted, which is normal for me, right? But I do have a good bit of stitching done to show you. And I was able to pick up some FFOs, and well, let's just get started. I mean, other than that, let me see, personal stuff. My son got his braces off today, so I'm very excited about that. It's been quite a few years he's had those on. He did get those a little bit later, not when he was little. So, but that was an exciting day for us. The weather's been kind of crazy around here. It's supposed to get to like 80 next week. I don't even know what that means. It usually means tornadoes, so that's never fun to think about. And then my family's having, my daughter and her family, they host a crawfish bowl every year. So we've got crawfish ordered, which if you are wanting to host a bowl this year, just so you know, there is a big crawfish drought going on, and they're kind of hard to find and they're not cheap. So start looking now if you're wanting to plan one. I'm going to miss that bowl though, because I'm going to be attending the Nashville Needlework Market. Not this weekend, but the next weekend. So I've got some market stuff to go over, and I'm just going to hop right into everything. So let's get going. Okay. So first, FFOs. Let's just do this. So my first FFO, I finished this quite a while back. This is a hands-on design piece. It's called Lick the Bowl. Life is short, lick the bowl. Yeah, I stitched this on, I think it's probably a 32 count vintage smoky white. I love it. It's a great neutral. I used called for, it looks like it's DMC. I think it was DMC. I'm going to hang this in my kitchen, so I did put glass on it. That is not something that I normally do. I don't really usually opt to put glass on my pieces. And I didn't choose any fancy museum glass because my kitchen doesn't, where it's going to be, it's not going to really get a lot of glare or anything. But this has taught me an important, well, it's teaching me an important kind of lifey lesson. So I'm not going to point it out. I can see it. Trust me. There are some long stitches, like a long stitch. So if you don't know, a long stitch is kind of like, just imagine a long back stitch, okay? So in this piece, there are some long stitches, and there are a few that aren't really perfectly straight, right? Which, as much as I love this frame and as gorgeous of a job as I did, is something, of course, that I noticed, you know, basically immediately. However, sometimes stuff like taking stuff back, or, you know, not being confrontational, but being like, oh, I don't know, I really don't like the way that looks, or could that be straightened up? Because I honestly don't know if, as long as my stitches are in there, if they were to like take this all apart and fix it back, if they wouldn't put the glass down and it wouldn't just keep doing it over and over. I don't know that it wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? And so, that sort of stuff stresses me out. And I have enough stress in my life. I don't need to borrow stress, or own any that I'm not like just, you know, gonna die on a sword upon. So basically, I'm going to take the advice of this piece and say, life is short, lick the bowl. I'm going to keep it up as a reminder to me that not everything has to be perfect. It can still be great, and not to add unnecessary stress to my life by, and I'm not saying anything about, like, if this was some heirloom piece, y'all, that like I had worked tirelessly on for months. I mean, of course, this is a judgment call, right? I would be like, yeah, absolutely. You know, I would want that fixed, but it's not that to me. So I'm going to take my own advice, or the advice of this piece, and life is short, and lick the bowl and roll on with it, right? So yeah, and maybe it's just a good little reminder that, you know, life is what it is sometimes, okay? All right, but I love it. I love the frame. I think it's just great. It's super nice. Yeah, so yay, got that one done, framed. My other one I got back, I am super, super excited about. This one is by Blackbird Designs, and it's Summer Jubilee. I love this. First of all, excited to have kind of a summery piece. I do not have very many summer, springy stitches. I have a lot of holiday, you know, Christmas, Halloween, that sort of stuff. So I'm very excited to have this. This was my first Blackbird Design stitch. This was my first alphabet. I'm not a huge alphabet fan, but this was my first alphabet. I stitched this on a piece of 32 count Twilight Blue by Witchelt. The called for fabric for this one was like R&R Reproductions Blackbird something 1800 Blackbird, or whatever that one is, right? Which I didn't have at the time, and I had no idea of how to get my hands on. I have since been able to find a piece, but I'm super happy with this. Billy at my LNS Stitchers Inc. helped me pick this fabric out, and I think everything just pretty much glows on it. I love it so much. This was a fun piece to stitch. It has, in the butterfly wings, it's kind of hard to see. And where else do I have that? And these little purple flowers up here, there's some Algerian eyelets. I use this, I used the called for fancy floss to stitch this. I think it was Gentle Arts mostly. And I made a few changes. I changed the initials to mine and my husband's initials. And I changed the year, which was super challenging. The year was a super challenge to fit in here, 2023. But that's the frame I chose, and I love it so much. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I was happy to get this one back. So this is Summer Jubilee by Blackbird Designs. It came in a, like a, I don't remember the name of the book. Some kind of summer something book. But anyway, yeah, super excited about those two FFOs. Okay, so let's move on to my finished object. Finished stitching, that's basically what that means. I started this one just around the beginning of the month because I needed a Valentine's Day stitch, y'all, because I don't have any, and I'm trying to fill in the holes in the places and things, and I had it in stash. So it is by Cosford Rise Stitchery, and it's called February Basket, and there we go. I finished it on Valentine's Day. I stitched this on a piece of 32 count. It's natural raw linen. I used all of the called for floss, the fancy floss, with the exception of the writing on the envelope. I think it was black coffee or something to that effect. And I just used like a DMC. I think it was 3371 is what I ended up having. But I love this. I am planning to turn this one, I think, into a small pillow the way that the designer has it finished. I believe I might even have the same color trim and velvet backing by Lady Dot Creates that they used in the model. So if I do, I'll go with that when I look through my finishing stuff, and I'm going to try to do that myself. I don't have any fabric. Well, no, if I have the velveteen, that'll work. So yeah, I'm going to try to do that myself. Maybe this will be my first like small pillow finish, possibly. Yeah, I love it. I love those flowers. There's 3 different pinks in the flowers. I just like the shading that gave. The bird is super sweet. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I'm happy to have that stitched. And now next year at Valentine's Day, I will have a sweet little finish of something to put out. Okay, so let me take a little break right here for just a second and let me talk about some community. Oh, also, I do not know what the dogs are barking at. I tried to be prepared. I put them in an area where they're not looking out the front door to bark at the people and all the things, and yet here we go again. So you may see some little clips in here back and forth when I have to knock it down because that'll get old too. I don't know what's been going on with them lately. All right, let's talk about some community updates. All right, so I was sick, right? And I was at home. So I got to watch a good bit of FlossTube when I could keep my eyes open. There are some channels that I want to mention. I am going to put their information down here just in case I might say the wrong name or something to that effect. Just bear with me here, okay? So there is a channel called Cross Stitch the Globe. Two sisters, Stephanie and Allison, and they've been doing great. They're fairly new. Like, I think they probably started start in the fall. I can't remember, but they're fun. They do like an every other week FlossTube, and then on the weeks in between, they kind of are doing a FlossTube extra. They did a really interesting FlossTube extra a couple weeks ago, and it was about the most expensive cross stitch patterns. And it was based off of data from 2023. They were verified purchases on eBay. That's where Stephanie did all of her research. And so she went through them all. Go check it out. It was very, very interesting to me. To me, what people won't pay for an out of print chart, you know, that's a personal decision. That's how bad you want it. Like, it's your unicorn. It will bring you so much joy, you know. But it was interesting which of those charts. I think she did like a top 25 with a couple honorable mentions. And like I said, she pulled her data from eBay, and it was only for the year of 2023. So you can imagine, like, out of print patterns go up and down in popularity. Lots of times they're really, really popular when they first go out of print. It just like explodes, and then it kind of trickles down. But there are some of those tried and true that just are always remaining there and end up being so many people's unicorns. So it's very interesting, but go check them out. They're a lot of fun to watch. Another newish FlossTube, I believe she started kind of near the end of the last year, is someone that I've met several times. Her name is Mary. The first time I met Mary was at the Steel City Stitchers Retreat in 2022. And Mary's been stitching a long time. She has a lot of experience. She stitches a wide range of things. And her FlossTube is called a Merry Stitcher. Merry like Merry Christmas. Go check out Mary. Brand new FlossTuber, brand new. Her name is Jem, Jem. I had the good fortune of meeting Jem at StitchCon last year. So nice. Multi-crafter, and she has her first FlossTube out, and it's called Stitchin' Jem FlossTube. No, yeah, it's FlossTube. I don't know. I'll put it down here. Stitchin' Gem's what I remember, but it might say FlossTube at the end. Okay, and I feel like I'm just speeding through these. I do want to say Kia B. She has a FlossTube and an Instagram. I'm sure you've heard of Kia B. Anyway, she put a post up on Instagram the other day. I thought it was so fun. She's starting a new stitch along, and it's called the Herkle Durkle Sal. And you can follow her Instagram to check it out. But basically, she's saying in the morning, with, you know, going in lines of being intentional with your stitching this year, instead of scrolling on your phone, stitch on something that just is calm and an easy stitch, and just to start your day off. And Herkle Durkle kind of basically is like an old Scottish term that refers to, I think it's basically like staying in the bed all day and wasting your day away, doing whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Anyway, sound like fun. So I'm definitely on board with that. I want to say congratulations to Rachel of Licking Floss. On her Instagram, I saw she posted, she finished the free chart from Owl Forest Embroidery, 100 Owls. Y'all, this thing is massive. If you go to Owl Forest Embroidery, it's even even on their website, it's free. 100 owls she has stitched on that. So whenever I see anybody finish that, I'm always like, whoa, major accomplishment. So congratulations, Rachel. Another thing that I want to talk about is a fundraiser that's going on right now. My friend Erin, and I've done this in the past, but my friend Erin, Two Martini Stitcher, is participating in the marathon for murdered, missing Indigenous women, girls, and Two Spirits. And all of the proceeds from this fundraiser will go to the Coalition to Stop Violence Against Native Women. And so follow Erin. Erin's finishing things like crazy, and she's taking donations for her fundraiser. But I wanted to put in a special note, Deanna of Darling and Whimsy Designs, who does all those super fun little quirky Quakers, right? She brought back an older chart that she released, I don't think it was last year, maybe it was the year before, during the fundraiser, and that the proceeds from that chart will go to benefit the coalition to stop violence against Native American women. But I'm going to show you what this is. So you can go over to Deanna's Instagram and follow all the links and get to where you need to be. But this is the chart. I stitched it when she put it out a couple years ago. It is based off of a Tolkien, one of the Hobbit movies, something Frodo says. So one of the Hobbit movies. So anyway, there is some good in this world. And it's worth fighting for. So I stitched this, I think this was on, this is on like a 32 count Havisham by Picture This Plus. This was some sort of a really pretty variegated floss. I think it was like a Fiberlicious Enchanted Woods, and this is a DMC. And there's the little door to the Hobbit hole. I had it finished at Keepsakes into a flat fold. This stays up in my house year round because I feel like this is a sentiment we can never get too much of, right? But I wanted to bring it in here for this because I actually had several people after I showed this when I got it finished asking about the pattern, and it was not available anymore. So it is once again available. From Deanna, Darling and Whimsy Designs. Go check her out on Instagram. And like I said, it's a fundraiser. So very good, very good. I wanted to make sure I shared all that before the fundraiser ended. Okay. Let's get back, pop over to some stitching. All right, let's see. I had one new start and I'm so excited about this. Okay, so I am going to be joining, I know I talked about it last time, but I'm going to be joining 3 friends and we are doing an Ink Circles round robin. So I'm going to be joining Karen of Fox and Rabbit, and Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, and Amy the Gable Stitcher. And we all have chosen an Ink Circles chart, and we're splitting it into 4, and we're going to pass it around to each other and do the whole round robin thing. So this is the chart that I've chosen, After the Roses. I have loved this one for so long, but I was definitely not excited about stitching all 4 parts of it. Now I don't have to. So I am super excited. I have this one. I got it going. I got it all kitted up. You might have seen a poll on my Instagram. I was kind of stuck between which color fabric I was going to use. It was like a 36 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit versus like a 36 count Vanilla Cream, I think, by Atomic Ranch. Erin 2 Martini Stitcher, she just got hers back, and hers is gorgeous, and it is on a lighter fabric, and it looks great. I just felt like after really looking at it, they both worked, but I felt like the colors, even though they were all popping on there, I just felt like the white, the cream, it was just too stark of a contrast, and I didn't like it. It was just too harsh to me. So I went with the always gorgeous, ever popular Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. And this is my little start. And you all, I have a week to get my portion done. I'm dropping things. I have a week. I have to get a quarter of this done because I'm handing this off to Karen when I see her at market. I have a week, and here's where I am, which is just a little baby start. There are a lot of color changes in this, a lot, but there you go. I'll get you in real good and close. Oh, it's so pretty. Those are my colors. Aren't they good? Oh, this is going to be so nice. I love it. I love it. So I am, if you can imagine, this is going to be my focus piece for the next week because I need to get that quarter done. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to get to working on theirs, and yeah, it will be super fun. So that was my only start. Yay me. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. All right, let's see, what did I have next? All right, let's talk about what I've been stitching on. I've been stitching on a lot. First one, I actually joined 2 Halloween at Hawk Run Haul Zooms. Hawk-Run Hollow. Yes, I struggle with that every time. I joined 2 Zooms since I've seen you last. One was hosted by Pam of Stitch New England and her FlossTube is Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. And the other one was hosted with my friends and I because we have a stitch along for Halloween at Hawk-Run Hollow. Hashtag Halloween at HRH South. Originally, I started this piece with my friends Bobby of Pumpkin Creek Primitives, Leanne of Leanne Stitching, and she's also Forbidden Fabrico, and Sam of Sammy Liz. This is the piece we're talking about here, right? And we would just get together and stitch on it and just have a good time. We have since added a few more new friends to our stitch along that have been joining us. Sarah, Big Red Human Crafter on Instagram, and Justine of X's and Hoes. And we've been working on this one. So, like I said, I had 2 little stitching sessions on it. And so here is my Halloween at Hawk-Run Hollow. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Heather by Picture This Plus. I love this. It's getting so good. I am in the middle block. So I'm in the Witch in the Cauldron block. And I think since last time as you saw it, let me try to fold it just so. Oh, my friend Leanne is like killing it. She's almost done. She's on her second to last block. Okay. So I worked in the cauldron. I think I finished the smoke since you've seen it last. Added a bat, worked in the cauldron and some flames. And I finished some black across the bottom here. So yeah, I'm a little over half done on that middle block now. So, because as you can see, it's just pretty much a mirror image of, so I'm like right here. Nope, it's probably flipped. So I'm probably like right here. Yeah, and I've got this to do. I'm excited though. Loving it, loving it. I'm happy to get that out. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a lot of work on it in between Zooms, but with those 2 Zooms every month, I should make some progress on it this year. Not on my radar to be a finish or anything, but I would like to keep moving it along. Progress is good. All right, let's see what's next. The next thing, oh, this one is so fun. This was a new start too. My bad. I actually had 2 new starts. Dang. Okay, well, I started this stitch along with Hello. I don't think I talked about this last time, did I? Did I start this last time when y'all saw it? I don't know. Maybe it's not been a new start since I saw you last time. Anyway, this is a stitch along hosted by Liz Matthews, and the hashtag is Hello Dimensions Sal. All right, so this is one of the Dimensions Gold Collection petite charts. It's called Coffee Shop. I had this when Liz started talking about starting her stitch along, and basically what she's doing is she's giving us an assigned area in every 2 weeks, and then we move on to the next thing. And I thought, even though I had no plans to start this, I had it. I knew I wanted to stitch it someday. Just couldn't think of a better time to do it when then someone was bossing me around telling me what to do. So I finished part 1. This was the assigned, and you know, don't mind my park threads here, but this was the assigned area for part 1. So basically we just did the outline of the whole bay window and these 2 window panes. I'm stitching this on the kit fabric, which I believe is a 16 count white Ada. I'm using the kit floss, and that's where I am. Yeah, I'm so happy I got part 1 done. So part 2 has been assigned, and part 2 is this red door and the transom window and the mail slot. But we don't have to do like what's in the window or anything, just the red door. And we don't have to come up here with the red, although I might, because I'm a little bit of a color completer sometimes. So yeah, so I'm going to be getting started on that as soon as I finish, after get my portion of After the Roses done. But yeah, so you're welcome to join in this one. Hashtag Hello Dimension Sal. You're not too far behind. We've only finished part 1, so join if you would like. All right, next one. I did not stitch on this one as much as I would have liked because I was sick, and anyway. This is Bayou Cat by Owl Forest Embroidery. I am joining Allie Z is Crafty and Stitchy Sarah Reads on Fridays. They have a hashtag, Owl Forest Friday, and stitching on my Owl Forest. And I have several Owl Forest whips, so I plan on, when this one is finished, moving on to the next one. Both of those ladies have fabulous floss tubes. Go check them out. I will link them in the description box below. But here's where we are on Bayou Cat. I am stitching this with the Owl Forest threads. I got this as a kit. They're very variegated and beautiful. And this is the neutral kit linen that came with the chart. Now, I think since you've seen it last, what I worked on was this area down here. So I only did this on, I didn't do this both Fridays. I think I only managed to squeeze in one Friday since I've seen you last, but that's what I got done. So, very handsome. Now this is not the end of the yellow. I think it might actually come out an inch or so more. It comes out a little bit more, probably to about right here. So, but yeah, I will be happy to have him done. I don't know how I want to finish him. I mean, I think he would make kind of like a fabulous lumbar pillow kind of, but I don't know. Maybe I'll frame him. I don't know if I want him framed though. I feel like I'm getting pillow vibes from him. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I get done. One of my older whips, I will say that. All right, another fun stitch along that I spent some time with was my friend Samantha, the Huga Stitcher. She started a stitch along with her friend Erica. Fiber and Floss Canada, I think that's Erica's. I'll put it all down below. It's hashtag Year of the Dragon Sow. So that started on the Chinese or Lunar New Year on February 10th, Year of the Dragon Sow. I didn't start a new start, but I pulled out my Dragon Whip. This is Antique Celtic Sampler by Elizabeth Needlework. Just love this one. I have just been needing a reason to be working on this one for a long time. So I love this one. It lives in a fabulous dragon bag made for me by my sister-in-law, Rivertown Designs US, which, PSA, she had 3 or 4 of her dragon bags up in her Etsy shop as of this morning. And I'll pop a picture up here of the style. They're more like a different style than this one. But they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. So yeah, go over there to Rivertown Designs US and check my sister-in-law out. She's got Valentine's bags. I know she's working on some St. Patrick's Day and some Easter. And like I said, she's got some dragons back in. So here's my progress, y'all. All right, so I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Old Lawn by Deanna. This is so fun. So I think since what I worked on when I saw you was I put in this little knot line right here, brought this down, brought this over, and I'm thinking I added this little scroll right here. I'm using the called for fancy floss for this one. I've lost one of my colors, so that caused me not to, I could have finished some writing, but I've lost one of my blues, so I have to make myself a note to pick that up next time I'm at the Stitchy store. Which we had a super fun weekend last weekend. We had our 901 Stitchers stitched together last Saturday. We usually have that the second or third Saturday of the month. That's something that's hosted by myself and my friend Zan, Crazy Band Lady Stitches, at our LNS here in Memphis, Stitchers. And we have a Facebook group, so if you're local to our area, please come join our Facebook group, 901 Stitchers. You're always welcome to our Stitch Togethers. It was great. We had a nice turnout and got caught up with everybody, and it was fun chit-chatting about market stuff and what was coming up. Okay, here's my next one. This one is from my Whip Go Walk of Shame board. Whip Go is the bingo type board started by Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She has all the information on her FlossTube, on her Instagram, and there is also a Facebook group. I will link things all below for you if you have any questions about it. Basically, numbers are called every month. I made my Whip Go board up of my 25 pieces last year, 2023, that I did not touch. So that's why it's my Whip Go Walk of Shame. Tongue in cheek, of course. No shame in my game. All right, so Tom's Foolery right here, Hands Across the Seas. This is the first sampler I ever bought and fell in love with. I don't have that many samplers. They're not really necessarily my jam, but the colors, the border, the kidney tree, this funky guy, I loved them all. So since you've seen this last, I worked more on my border here. I finished up some colors in there, and I went all the way across here. Not all the way. I mean, it's not to the end, but I went as far across I think that might be the middle. So I'm like halfway down and halfway over. And yeah, I just got some nice stitching done in that. I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count ballet slippers by Fox and Rabbit. It is a gorgeous piece of fabric, gorgeous color. Love it. That one's going to be put up now because I have completed my obligation for that one for the month. And yeah, it might come back out again this year. It might not, but it did get some love, right? All right, this one I'm so excited about. In fact, when I open some of these whips, when I open the bag, I just can feel myself happy about it. Like you just know it's a good whip to you then when you get that feeling, right? I definitely feel this way about this one. This one is Happy Haunts by Good Morning Maui. So I started this in October of 2020, which was not too long after I started stitching. And I saw this on my friend Lollipop Stitches, her Instagram. She was hosting a stitch along for this at the time. Lolly also has recently reinvigorated her FlossTube videos. So go check Lolly out. She's showing all kinds of stuff that she's working on. But yeah, I saw this. I saw this on her Instagram. I went to Etsy. I bought the chart. I went to my LNS. I bought the fabric and all of the DMC the same day and started it. Like, it was necessary. I was, you know, feeling the pangs of I am a Disney girl and have spent many a wonderful vacation at Walt Disney World in Orlando, and I love the Haunted Mansion ride, and I have great memories and yada yada, all the things, right? Okay, so at that time, it was COVID-y, and I was really missing Disney World. So this was scratching that itch for me. So let me show you where I am on this one. I pulled this one out for on the 13th. This was my hashtag dark13 stitching. That's hosted by Emily C. and Michelle Cozy Egg. And I decided I'm going to try to stitch on a Halloween piece on the 13th and the 31st of every month. So this one got its love for this month because we don't have a 31st this year. But here we are. Here is Happy Haunts by Good Morning Maui. And how did I get that big wrinkle in there? But y'all, I love this one. It is so fun. It's on a piece of, I think it's 16 count Graceful Gray Ada. And what I worked on this time was the harp and the bell and the candle, and let me present to you Madame Leota. She is in the building, okay? That was so fun. I don't know if you can see. It was so fun to stitch the little fringe on her table, and I just had to add in a little extra bling, which is definitely not showing up. However, in real life, for her fortune, what is that? Your crystal ball, right? So all around this was white. And that just really wasn't doing it for me. So what I did was I grabbed some Krynic. Now, I have a little story about Krynic. Leanne and I of Leanne Stitches, we were stitching the Halloween Trick or Treat Fairy together, and we needed some number 4 blue ice Krynic. Sometimes Krynic's hard to find. Sometimes certain colors in Krynics are just hard to get your hands on. Leanne and I have been trying desperately to find Krynic blue ice number 4. So we just were doing without it because, you know, we weren't needing it just yet. And we went to Market, and Krynic is at Market. And just so happens that we asked them about it, and they said, no, we don't have it. We were like, okay, fine. And then she comes running over across the hotel, and she's like, I have some. She had a whole spool. So she sold us the whole spool. It was a big spool. Leanne has current custody of the majority of the spool. However, she did wind me a bunch off for when I needed it. Thank goodness, because I needed it, because it was perfect. It was perfect. Krynic, but here was the thing with it. It was not number 4. It was number 8, which I didn't realize it was number 8. First of all, I was not that familiar at the time, like where I could just eyeball it and be like, that doesn't look like number 4, that looks like number 8. Number 8 is thicker than number 4. And I used it stitching my moon on my Trick or Treat Fairy, and it was terrible. Like, I had this super puffy moon. It looks great, but like I just knew I was going to tear my linen. I mean, it was not appropriate. It was too large for the holes in my linen. And so I'm like, well, I have this, and I can't imagine using it. I wouldn't use it on any of my mirrors going here on out or anything of that, but it was perfect for this because on the strands of the Krynic, let me see if I can just show this to you all. On my strands, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. So on the strands of the Krynic, it's like blue, and then it's wrapped around white. It's kind of like if you could imagine baker's twine, okay? And on the 4, the space in between, like the white part, is smaller, like it's more blue looking because it's thinner, okay? So this one's got a little white on it. which made me think this would be perfect to give that kind of crystal ball effect. It's not too in your face. It's just a subtle little bluish shimmer. I wish you could see it. It's so good. So good. So there I am, just using what I have and being so happy about having that in stash. Anyway, I definitely had to let Leanna in on that. I love this. I would like to finish this year. I think I really will be able to if I stick to working on it 2 days a month, because I already got that much done, and that was one afternoon. I would not actually have chosen an Ada to stitch this chart on if you are thinking of stitching it. It's not impossible, but there are a ton of fractional stitches and back stitching in this chart, and I would have preferred to have done this on an even weave, I believe, but it's working. You can do it. It's not impossible, just a little more challenging sometimes. I'm gonna kind of get you in there close so you can kind of see everybody. Aren't they so good? They're so fun. I love it. I love it. All right, so imagine you'll be seeing more of that one in months to come since it's back on my radar. Oh my goodness. Another really fun one I worked on. So, not this past market, that was 2023. 2022, my friend Leanna Forbidden Fiber Co., she came out with a set of charts and coordinating flosses. Now, they're superhero charts, basically. But in order to not do any sort of, like copyright infringement and that sort of stuff, she did not sell the charts. The charts were free. She did come up with a range of flosses that coordinate with the chart. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about my project that I'm calling my Superhero Summer Afghan, okay? I started it in the summer. When I think of summer, Marvel, superheroes, I'm definitely binging some of those movies in the summer. That to me is like, get your popcorn, go to the movie theater. It just gives me that vibe, right? So I thought what I would do with, there's 12 of these charts. This is the first one that I started with. This one's called Danvers, which is a nod to Captain Marvel. And in the Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline, this is the, not the first movie, but the second movie. The first movie I think is Captain America, which was not in any of these charts. So this is where I started, which is good because this is one of my very favorite characters, Captain Marvel is, and one of my very favorite floss colors that she did. What I decided to do with these is I decided to make an Afghan. I wanted to make an Afghan after I started watching the ladies over at Stitching at the Cabin working on their huge Stony Creek Afghans. Let me just show you what this beautiful floss, isn't this fabulous? Some of Leanne's flosses I really like have a speckled effect. Not all, but some of them I really enjoy that. And so I thought, well, I could turn these into an Afghan. And I was thinking about making it for my grandson, but then I don't know if he's gonna like Marvel or not, but I like Marvel. So I'm going to work on this Afghan and turn it into like a, back it and do all the things when I'm done. Well, so I finished my first block and there we are. This is the Danvers pattern by Forbidden Fiber Co. Now, some challenges. All of these charts are roughly the same size. Not exactly. This is a 14 count Afghan and it has 3 blocks across and 4 down. I don't remember the exact name of it. I got it on the Stony Creek website quite a long time ago. All right. So the pieces are not going to fit in here perfectly. They're going to come into these little border areas some. This one did. I decided I'm not going to beat myself up about that. Like, some of them are just going to be that, and it's not going to be perfect. And I'm okay with that. I'm just going to enjoy it as it is. The next one I'm going to be doing is one of my other favorite characters. It's called, I think it's called Love You 3000, and that is, looks like Iron Man to me, right? And so Iron Man, I think I figured out these squares are like 50 by 50. I think that's what I figured out. Don't don't hold me to it. So Iron Man's 46 wide, but he's 68 tall, you know. So I've got like basically, you know, a little bit's going to come into the top and a little bit's going to come to the bottom, and then he'll fit in here. So he'll be in the middle square. And I think if I can do at least one a month, I might speed it up a little bit. There's a possibility I'm going to be going with my mom to visit my aunt out in Oregon in October, doing kind of a girls crafty trip. And there are a few projects that I could use some expert hands in as far as making this into a blanket and such. So if I can kind of push my timeline a little bit so I could have this done by the time I went out to see her, I feel like she could help instruct me or help me come up with some ideas. Anyway, that's kind of my game plan. So you should be seeing more of this coming soon because I feel a little bit motivated to get busy on that right now. In fact, I would have continued and started the I Love You 3000 chart if I hadn't had the kind of get the, you know, get on the road, show on the road about the ink circles after the roses. It lives in a really fun large bag. This is made by a bag maker on Etsy called Crab Shack Stitchery. Her bags are very, very like economically priced. They're so big, and usually they give you a notions pouch with them. Yeah, they don't always have a huge selection, and they sell out pretty quick because they are so nice priced, and they are great quality. They're nice and thick and soft, and holds this large project just perfectly well. Okay, my next one I worked on. So I had set up, one of my New Year's goals was to make sure that I am facilitating the Zooms I'm involved in. And I try really hard to set up a Zoom for a lot of the whips that I'm working on every month. One of those is the Forest Goddess by Mirabilia. I am working on this with my friend Amy, Fiber Arts Amy, and Lisa Cross by Floss. And so we really enjoy getting to catch up once a month and Zoom and work on the Forest Goddess. So we had a Zoom set up, and unfortunately I was the only one able to make the Zoom, which is fine. I had it scheduled during my dog's grooming appointment because I basically sit in my car and stitch the whole time because my groomer does not live anywhere close to me. And so I just sit in my car and stitch. So I was just planning to chat with them and stitch. So I still stitched on her because she really makes me happy. She's beautiful. This is the Forest Goddess. She is MD 4087. She is an older chart, but she is not out of print. DMC, 1 Krynic, and 5 beads. She has a lot of block stitching. I'm really loving her. In fact, she's going to be my next Mira Monday stitching project when I finish the other one. Here she is. This is the Forest Goddess by Mirabilia. I'm stitching her on a piece of 32 count Cecil. That is Seraphim Fabrics. I adore her, y'all. She's so fun. So, let's see. I worked on her for about an hour or so, hour and a half maybe, and I did more in this purpley pink little stripe of her gown right there. So yeah, progress. Love her so much. She's a beauty. Cannot wait to get her done. Yeah, I love her. So we'll try again next month, and maybe we'll be able to get together and get some more stitching done on her. Okay. Now, this is my second draw for the month of February for my Whip Go Walk of Shame. This one is Coffee First by Luminous Fiber Arts. I started this one quite a long time ago for a coffee lover in my life. I did choose a 36 count fabric that I was really not comfortable stitching on at the time, and I did not enjoy it, and therefore made no progress. So when I started, when you saw this last, it was basically just this part of this gray border, because this gray border is, it actually looks really nice, but you know, it's just boring, right? So what I've done, I worked on it last Saturday and took it to 901 Stitches with me. I continued the border all the way to the end, which is kind of hidden here in my nerds, but you get the idea, right? All the way out to the end. Now, these little ones down here, this is actually going to be a whole nother filled in row. It's just when I started stitching it, I was putting a hash mark basically like at every 10 stitches to help me kind of keep up where I was. And I wasn't really just prepared to let go of those markers yet because I'm stitching around in here and I kind of like to check and make sure where I am. So I finished this and I did this whole little area and I love it. I love it. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count Dapple by Picture This Plus. It is one of the called for fabrics. She actually suggested 2. And let's see, I don't know where my floss is. Oh, here it is. I'm using like called for floss and some DMC and everything. It's just going to be beautiful and bright and popping. So I will be working on this one on Saturday some. Maybe not a ton because I do need to get After the Roses to where it needs to be. But I do plan to work on this some on Saturday. Okay, this one is, sorry. This is Sir Thomas of Glendon Place. We zoomed on Sir Thomas the other night. Had so much fun. So I started this one, I don't know, it was last year or the year before. Anyway, my new friend Tara, the 805 Stitcher, was like, hey, you want to finish him? Yeah, we want to finish him. We had a discussion. We chopped him up into 12 pieces. And then I went through and I thought about all of my friends that had Sir Thomas and asked them if they would be interested in working on him this year as well. So have a little friend group. It's Tara, 805 Stitcher, myself, Leanne of Leanne Stitches, Bobby, Pumpkin Creek Primitive, Claire, Floss Chronicles, and Justine, X's and Hoes, and then Sarah, Big Red Human Crafter on Instagram. Sarah was the only one who really didn't already have Sir Thomas going, right? So this was our second Zoom and we had a really good time. Bobby and Leanne and Sarah, I don't know, Bobby's killing it. But so look, here's where I am, y'all. I did get more done. So this was my November and December portions. Yes, that's how behind I am. So January portion is basically like his head and February is corn. Now, I do feel after that Zoom, I feel much more motivated to like keep on moving on and working on this. This was so fun. But like I said, I really needed to move on to After the Roses. Priorities right now. However, yeah, I'll be catching this one up soon. So since you've seen this last, I think I finished everything above this cream line and down in here if I was missing any. And a little start right here into January's portion. But yes, I love this. I'm stitching this on the called for fabric. This is I think it's a 28 count Jubilee. It is China Pearl Jubilee by Witchelt. I'm using all of the called for floss, which is a mix of Sullivan's and Rainbow Gallery with some Silk Lame, Petite Treasure braids. There's Mill Hill beads. I wish you could see the way this guy sparkles and shines. Bobby, during our Zoom, was finishing working on these feathers, and she's calling this aluminum foil because, yeah, it looks like aluminum foil. I mean, it's beautiful. I wish you could get the whole effect, but that's where I am, right? So Sir Thomas lives on a set of Rolla frames, R-O-L-A frames. I love these frames. This grime guard for my frame is made by Melissa of Shiba Designs, who also makes beautiful project bags. And when I'm not stitching on Sir Thomas, he is protected by this scroll rod cover made by Ronnie at GaRon Toten Bags. So he has all of the things. He has a fancy matching bag, also made by Ronnie at GaRon Toten Bags. He's quite the well-dressed turkey. He is Sir Thomas after all. So, more Sir Thomas coming soon. Another Zoom that I got to do this past weekend was so fun. This is Going to Grandma's by Praiseworthy Stitches. I'm stitching this with my Queen City Stitch Retreat Table 4 besties. We started this together and we are really enjoying it. We have a hashtag Table 4 is Going to Grandma's. So this weekend, Jordan, the Tattooed Stitcher, and Bernadette were able to join me. Bernadette of Burn Stitches. We had a great conversation, lots of fun. Denise, Black Ribbon Stitch Studio, she wasn't able to stay because she has a new grandbaby. But we did get to see her year, and it was so fun and so exciting, and we're so happy for Denise and her sweet family. So congratulations, Denise. The dogs are congratulating her too. All right, so table 4, we had Jordan, the Tattooed Stitcher, Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher, Bernadette, Burn Stitches, Denise, Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. We had Deb, Stitches of Heritage, who has a fabulous Instagram, and Lisa, Cross by Floss. Everybody, with the exception of Deb, has a fabulous FlossTube and Instagram. Go check them out. Deb is not stitching this with us because she had some other obligations this year, some fabulous model stitching, one of which the piece that she did for Rebel Stitcher, the Birmingham sampler. So good, coming out at market. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, so we worked on this some. Mostly we talked, y'all. I'm stitching this on a 36 count Very Periwinter by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. It is not this light. It is a very vibrant, kind of a periwinkle blue. And here's where we are. I'm stitching this with a called for fancy floss. And I think since you've seen it last, I was just working in this general area while we were on the phone. So kind of working up the side of that. What's this? Is this like a cupola? Or I'm not sure what the architectural term for that is. I feel like that might be so. I'm very excited to see Praiseworthy Stitches' new release at market. It's called Sleigh Ride, and there are a couple houses in that one that I just really, really like. I'm excited to see the model in person, and I'm excited about it. It's like a sleigh scene. Like, they have a lot of village Christmassy scenes. And I don't have one of those started yet. I mean, this is Christmas, obviously, but it's not the same sort of format that they have several done of. So, yeah, they have been model stitching that. If you want to go over to their Instagram, Praiseworthy Stitches, and check that out, you are welcome to. But I'm looking forward to seeing the model in real life. I might have to have that one. Okay. So my Mirror Monday stitching, hashtag Mirror Monday stitching, was started by my friend Lisa of Cross by Floss. Basically, the idea is stitch on a Mira or a Nora Corbett chart on Mondays. So my Monday stitch for Mirror Monday stitching is Touching the Autumn Sky by Mirabilia. I have borrowed this chart. This is an out of print chart that it's hard to get your hands on, and a sweet stitchy friend let me borrow it. I want to have this finished before StitchCon. So this is definitely my Monday focus, as well as when I can work her in other times of the week. But isn't she sweet? She reminds me of my daughter. I don't know. Every little girl thing that's cross stitch reminds me of my daughter, but yeah, I love it. It's beautiful. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Snowdrips fabric by Stephanie, and here's where I am. So you can see I am down in that skirt, right? Since last time you've seen it, I did like a lot of this part of our skirt. It's so pretty. And I started working on some white up in here. I love the shading, the detail of this. The more I stitch it, the more excited I become about it, the more I love it. Several of us in the community are trying to finish her this year. My friend Erin, Two Martini Stitcher, we are motivating each other to keep going. She's working on this on Mondays as well. Amy, the Gable Stitcher, she wants to get her done this year. Pam, Stitching Landed Good Enough. And then our friend Nancy from one of our Zooms has started her as well. So we have quite a lot of people are working on her. Oh, and Leanne Stitches from Forbidden Fiber Co. I started this one with Leanne. So, yeah, I don't know if Leanne wants to finish her this year, but we did start her together. So, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love the pink. I love the shading and the dimension that we're getting out of this. It's fabulous. I do not know why I am making my camera bounce all over the place. Sorry about that. All right. So, got some mint stitches in on her this past Monday. My second borrowed chart. I just dropped my floss. Sorry. Okay. I love this one too. This is another one that I want done by StitchCon or before. And this is a Strawberry Garden by Blackbird Designs. Oh my goodness. Take a gander, take a gander, take a gander. So gorgeous, right? Okay, so brought it out to do some work this week. I'm stitching this one on a 40 count piece of, I think it's like Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. Here we are. So since last time you saw this, I've done border, I've done an urn, I've done a bird, I've added my forget-me-not. I did finally settle on a color. This is Brother in Blue by Gentle Arts. I had some color challenges this time. So I had this stitched, and I looked online at so many different images of people stitching, and this is black, okay? But I was using a beautiful skein of Mauve silk that my friend Colleen, a Rebel Stitcher, had sent me. It was just too black. Even though the called for is, what is the called for? I can't remember. The called for is like an over-dyed black, and then the DMC conversion is 310, and 310 is black, you know, but it was just too stark. So I pulled it all out. I just did the outline of it, and I could tell. Like, I thought I would just look at it for a day or so, and I was like, no. I almost changed the whole thing to brown, and I thought, you know, I'm really trying to stay with the original idea. So I stuck with black, but I did switch to an overdye black. I stitched it in a Gentle Arts black coffee, which is just a little softer, y'all, and it just did the trick. I still don't love that it's black. I still think it's an interesting choice, but I can settle with it. I'm okay with it. It doesn't hurt my eyes. So the next kind of little predicament I'm in is with this crow over here. So this is stitched in a color called Wisconsin Woods, and it's not 100% true to what it used to be, but it's pretty close. But what is supposed to go in the wing is way, way, way off base. So, and I know these photograph differently, so you know you're at this disadvantage too, but I don't know if you can see that wing. The wing on here is like, it's a purpley, variegated, bluish purple. I don't know. I'll show you what it was supposed to be. It's called for to be tartan plaid. And no, we are not going to have that crazy looking thing on there, okay? I'm not going to have it, all right? But I don't know what to do about the wing. I've auditioned several colors at this point. Any suggestions would be welcome, because I've looked through, I have a pretty decent stash of overdyes and silks, and I just can't settle on anything. I don't know if it's because of the Wisconsin Woods that I've already used. I don't know if it's because of the other colors in the chart. I'm not really sure what my problem is just yet. I don't know. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. I'm not sure. I did want to say, I watched a really good floss tube the other day. It was done by Sherry, the Colorado cross stitcher. Sherry has a background on, it knows a lot in colors. I think they call that color theory. I'm not sure, but she has put together, and you can buy these on her website. She has put together like these 2 packs of DMC floss. One is a warm pack, one is a cold pack. She goes through in this video, y'all, and it is fabulous. She's like, you can see this one is warm. She's like throwing colors on each of these. This one is cool. This goes with this. This doesn't. And then she kind of goes into more about how sometimes a designer might use a pop of a cool and a warm. Anyway, it is worth it. If you are interested at all, or like to change your colors, or are kind of in a predicament like I'm in right now, the knowledge is great. I think I haven't gone on there and ordered those floss packs yet, but I might, just because once your eye can see it the way Sherry has it set up, it makes sense. So I'm just Colorado cross stitcher Sherry. So any suggestions about this Blackbird down here with this wing situation, I would greatly appreciate. But I'm just rolling right along, right? I'm kind of pushing that to the end. I've done a lot of those lazy daisy stitches. There are quite a few lazy daisies in this chart. And what else did I do? Oh, these sweet little berries right here, they're very tiny. They're Smyrna crosses, which are easy. Don't let these specialty stitches just freak you out or intimidate you. Y'all could do these. I mean, there's tutorials online. A lot of the charts, especially Blackbird charts, have diagrams with instructions in them. You can do this. You can do this. Sometimes they, like all these lazy daisies, they take a while, but yeah, so fun, so fun. So I would like to get this one done very, very soon. I am loving it. So I can get this chart back to my sweet friend. This chart does have a really pretty bag made by Creative Country Girl Tammy Blaylock. You can check out her website. She has fabulous bags as well. All right, and let me get to my last WIP. Whew, okay, I know some of y'all thought you might never see this one again. In fact, one of my Zoom friends were like, where's Brooks's stocking at? So from this lovely book here, I am stitching my grandson Brooks the Toys and Games stocking. I need to get a move on it. This is one of my focus pieces for the year that I would like to get finished. I was enabled by Brenda, the Handwork Maniac. She stitched all these for her family. This has been quite a challenge. These are not easy to stitch, but there we are. We are full of color changes, fractional stitches, back stitching, you name it. It's fabulous, but it is a labor of love, y'all. Okay, I'm stitching this. I think this is a 25 count. I don't remember if it's 25, I think it's 25 count. Mushroom Lugana, and here's where I am. Now, when last you saw it, I did not have anything inside this shelf done. So this, and this is what I'm talking about. I am not a slow stitcher. This is probably, I don't know, 400 stitches in here. A little bit less. I mean, it took me like 5 hours. That's way below my average stitching. So, but that's because it's a lot of color changes, fractionals. There's like 3 or 4 blues in that part of the train, you know, and so it makes for a beautiful stocking. Also, it is 3 strands of floss, which thankfully enough, one of you heavenly viewers pointed me in the right direction of some tutorials about how to do a loop start with 3 strands of floss, but still, it is just more work to deal with 3 strands of floss. But the coverage is good. I wouldn't be happy with the 2. So, I mean, that's me personally. Once I've seen the 3, I wouldn't be happy with the 2. So, there we go. So basically this is an outline of something over there. I don't know. It's like some branches and some candy canes. And anyway, that's what I'm working on. And I got all that done. Happy about that. So once I get after the roses where it needs to be, back on that. That's all of my stitching, y'all. That was a lot of stitching. I have been super busy. Yes. So there's a few other things I want to talk to you about. Not really a few. I have kind of a bit. I've kind of like culled my St. Patrick's Day stitching. I wanted to share that with you all because it'll be March before I see you again. So I wanted to show you charts I have in my stash and FFO. I love St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is my wedding anniversary. So anyway, I love St. Patrick's Day. So I want to go over and show you that sort of stuff. I want to talk about market. I want to talk about what my plans are going to be for the next couple weeks. I want to talk about, I have a little bit of haul, some fun new things. And at the very end, I'm going to throw in some of my needlepoint stuff. So let me grab my pile of St. Patrick's Day goodies. And, oh, and we have a giveaway. We have 2 giveaways. Let me do the giveaways first, and then I'm going to grab my St. Patrick's Day stuff and show you all the goodies. All right, so the winner of this little Kohana Valentine's set, For Me to You. What does Rizzo say in Greece? Something like, for me to you, Pinky Lee, or something. I need to look up the origin of that. All right, so this will be this sweet little book, leather bound, pink. And this is a set of little colored pencils, and I had an extra little Kohana calendar I'm going to throw in here. The winner of this sweet little Valentine is CHARJ57. I'll post a picture up here. So if you'll please message me on Instagram, put my Instagram up here, give me your address. I will be popping this in the mail to you. Congratulations. I have not had anyone claim the winter chart or the other calendar from my last FlossTube. So if y'all are out there and you missed it, go back and check it out. I didn't write their names down again. Wait, let me see if I wrote it down here on my last thing. I didn't. So I'll post those winners up here. Boom, boom, whatever. Y'all reach out if you want your goodies. Okay, so I was thinking about a fun giveaway for next time. And with all the market excitement, I thought I would really like to gift someone one of their something from their market wish list. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to, I want this to be just a chart, y'all. So no notions, kits, no fabric, no floss, something like this. This is a chart that you really want from this year's market releases. Okay. $20 or less, $20 or less. $20 or less, please. And in order to win that, I would like you to use the word market in a comment, and be a subscriber, and tell me, even if it's not the one you end up choosing, because you don't have to choose right now, as of right now, what's your #1 market pick? Because this is very interesting to me. Okay, so need to be 18 or older so I can get your address. Don't say the word giveaway, win, free, any of that stuff in there, so we don't have any trolls coming to get our stuff. Use the word market and tell me what your #1 pick right now is. Like I said, you're not choosing. I won't use that information to choose what I get for you, but I just want to know. So those are the requirements. And then right before I come back to my next video, which will be in 2 weeks, I will run a random comment thing and I will pick a winner, and then I will say, hey, get with me and tell me what you would like me to order. A chart, $20 or less. Okay, I think that'll be so fun to be able to see what everybody's super excited about, because I know what I'm super excited about. In fact, I'm just going to get right into what I'm super excited about. I am super excited about those Stacy Nash little animals. Whoa, I want all 3 of them. There's a mouse, there's a rabbit with a radish. The radish is chef's kiss, and a little squirrel. They are so cute, y'all. I've put in my pre-orders. I put in a couple, I've spread the love a little bit. I have a couple coming from Ronnie and Gary over at GaRon Stitching. They have a great online website. You can do plenty of shopping on there. You can look at all of your market picks. They have a whole category. They do want you to email them, and they do have like pre-order dates. Another person to go check out is Lindy Stitches. Check out her FlossTube. For the last several weeks, she has been like putting out FlossTubes with new releases of market releases, and she's been offering like gift cards to people who come watch or comment. There's a whole sort of thing. So her videos have been so enjoyable. So go check out Lindy Stitches. She's taking pre-orders. My LNS Stitchers here in Memphis is taking pre-orders. I know Keepsakes is taking pre-orders. Stacy at Thread the Needle Stitchery is taking pre-orders. There's a lot of, if you have an LNS or an online shop that you shop at frequently and you want something, this is the time to let them know. The pre-orders are just helpful. That means that the designers have what people need when they go to market. You get what you want when you want it. Obviously, some things are not just going to go away, but some things are not available for a short limit of time after market, or there are few and far between things that are simply only sold at market. Anyway, it's so fun. And I said all that without even kind of like giving you an information about what market is. If you don't know, market is a wholesale event for our community that happens at the beginning of March every year up in Franklin outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Basically, it's held in a huge Embassy of Suites. It is not open to the public. It is just open to buyers like your LNS and your online store. They're coming to purchase things for you to buy from them. So it is wholesale. It's not a retail show. And basically the idea is there's like 4 floors of every designer and maker you can imagine. And they basically turn their hotel rooms, the suite part, into a cross stitch, like into a store. It's fabulous. I am blessed to be able to attend and help my friend Leanne at Forbidden Fiber Co. and see all the stuff. Visit with all my friends, meet all the people. It's fun times. It's a lot of work, but it's a great weekend. So very excited. But I've got all my pre-orders in because, you know, we're working. We don't have no shopping time. No shopping time. We got to get that stuff done ahead of time. So I'm very excited about it. I would love to gift you with something you want from market, as I love market. So like I said, use market in the comment and tell me what your #1 pick is. Does not have to be what you end up. I'm not going to choose what you get. You decide, because you might have already pre-ordered it, which rock on. I hope you have. But yeah, so exciting. All right. That's my market information. Let's see, what else was it? Oh, St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me get my St. Patty's Day stuff I want to show y'all. Okay, let's talk St. Patty's Day. This is my FFO of one of my favorite St. Patrick's Day charts. This is by one of my favorite designers, RETM. She has some good stuff coming out for market, y'all. But this is Molly and Patrick O'Gobble. Aren't they fabulous? There's like a Quaker style motif. They are so fun. I stitched these too. This is a piece of XG Designs fabric. I think it's Rusty Mountain, using called for DMC. I had it finished at Keepsakes into a flat fold. And I love it. I love it. This is so far my only St. Patrick's Day FFO, but I will remedy that in the future. I want to show you some of the things I have in my stash in case you're just looking for something you want to stitch for St. Patrick's Day. There is a good bit out there. In fact, I am pre-ordering from Summer House Stitch Works at Market. They have a little sweet, like square called Lucky Charm. It's adorable. I love it. Okay, so one of my first things from stash is a sweet chart from my friend Leanna, Forbidden Fiber Co. A little luck pillow, and I have her gorgeous Forbidden Fiber Co. floss. Oh, look at it. It's all kitted up, ready to go. Love it, love it. That is fun. Another one, this was a market release from last year, is by Pedal Pusher. Barbie at Pedal Pusher. I really love a lot of her designs. This is a Lucky Berry. It says good luck on it. I have not stitched a strawberry yet, but I have this one, and I have some Blackbird Designs berries and some hands-on designs. So I think this is so fun. This one is DMC floss. It's on a light mint Lugana, and it's 87 wide by 57 high. So fun, 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 fun. Now this one I am excited about. This is one of Hands-On Designs Kathy's block parties, where they're finished into these cool little blocks. I have not stitched one of these yet. Look at that. And that being my wedding anniversary, I'm excited. I do want to start this one this year. So when you order this, it comes with a chart, and it also comes with this little piece of felt that goes across the top for finishing. You can order it separately. I did order these Jabco. That's just another button company. These are the buttons that go in the top. I have this one kitted up and ready to go as well. I've got the called for floss and fabric, which is a 28 count linen. It's artichoke. It's probably like a Winchell or something, but I would like to start this one this month because we are definitely ready to go. Another really fun little one, a little Mill Hill kit. I'm not ready to start another Mill Hill yet, y'all, but there we go. This one is called Lucky Day. It's a spring bouquet by Mill Hill. That looks like fun. This is one of those, I think it comes, does it come with a magnet? Perforated paper. Yeah, it comes with the perforated paper, floss needles, Crystal Treasures magnet, because this is like, you can put this on your fridge. I like that. All right. This is a stretch, but you know, I have to give my Nora Corbett Mirabilias a little bit of love. This is Emerald Mermaid, you know, St. Patrick's Day, Ireland, the Emerald Isle. Isn't she beautiful? She is MD number 77. She is like 2004, and then I guess she was reprinted in 2018. I don't think she's out of print. I don't know. She's a one Krynick, 4 beads, and a lot of DMC. She's pretty. And this is another Nora Corbett. Now this one I was never interested in until I went to Queen City Stitch Retreat and I saw this one stitched in person. This is Bells of Ireland, the Pixie Blossom Collection by Nora Corbett. She's NC 226, copyright 2016. She's DMC floss and 3 Mill Hill beads. When I tell you that she leaps off the fabric when she's stitched, this blue dress is fabulous. Yeah, she's one of those I definitely came home from the Queen City Stitch Retreat and purchased because I had seen her stitched. So sweet. Love that one. I have, looks like I have the beads. I don't have the DMC yet, but I have all of her beads, so that would not be hard to start. But I'm not. Another one is by another one of my designers that I really enjoy, the Primitive Hair, Izzy, who happens to be our market neighbor. She stays in the room next to us. So Bridget Cleary and Irish Fairy. I think this one was from market last year. Yes, this one is a very interesting story. Sad. So you could Google that. I'm not going to go into that. But the chart, you can buy the PDF online. But when I bought it from market, like, it also came with this little scrap of fabric with her picture on it to stitch into the piece. It does say in the chart that you can order the little picture from the Primitive Hair directly and they'll send it to you. But she is in Italy, so it's probably take a minute to get here. Yeah. This one is so fun. I just recently bought this one. I bought this from Welcome Stitchery on the Black Friday sale. This is Lucky Treasure Box. It's by Shepherd's Bush. And the pictures are hard to see. I know, I'm sorry. It came as a kit. So I've got fabric and floss and a needle. It looks like it does go into like the top of a box. I don't have the box. I'm not sure I'm even interested in getting the box, but isn't that a cute little stitch? Love that. And this one is an oldie but a goodie by the Sweetheart Tree. I don't even know if there is a 1996 printed on recycled paper. Go Sweetheart Tree. All right, so this is called Shamrock Heart. Comes with the little, oh. Now, this is straight up a chart. I didn't mean to, so I'm gonna put a sticker over that and I'm just gonna hold it back here because there ain't no way y'all are stitching off of this. This thing is hard to read as it is. It's a heart with a charm on it. And there are pretty like row by row instructions. There's a satin stitch, cross stitch, mosaic stitch. So it's some little specialty stitches. Got some ribbon we're using, ribbon couching, herringbone stitches. So Sweetheart Tree has some fun little stitches. I don't even know Sweetheart Tree Designs anymore, but Sandra Cox, 1996. So yeah, I know. All right, and this one, I love this one. I got this one off the GaRon Stitchery website, maybe last year, by Threadworks Primitives. It's called Lucky Leprechaun. He's cute. And I got the little key for finishing with him. They were selling that too. This one is 31 wide by 77 high. Uses a few types of DMC, a DMC, and looks like 6 fancy floss. That's super cute. There were a couple that I have purchased that were PDFs. I'll put a picture of them up here. The first one I purchased not that long ago from Not Forgotten Farm. The designer is Lori Brecklin, one of my faves. They have an Etsy store, and I think his name was Lucky McGee. I'll put a picture of him up here. So I have that one. And then also last year, I purchased a set by Cosford Rise Stitchery. And it's like several little pillow patterns together. And I can't remember the name of it, but I'm going to put it up here so you can see all the things. And last but not least, I have this one kitted up. And I am starting this one this year because this one is going to be a gift. This comes from a book from 1987, y'all. It's Holidays in Cross Stitch, 1987. This is it. It is called An Irish Blessing. It says, "Search though I might o'er land and sea, I'd ne'er find anyone sweeter than thee." Yep. And so there's some significance with the name of the person the quote is attributed to, and I'm stitching this for my daughter's mother-in-law, and I have it all kitted up in this cute little bag. Who is this by? I think this is by Stitch and Piece. Yep, that's Bev. She's on Etsy. She sells cute bags. It's all DMC, and I think this might be R&R Winter Brew. I think this is a scrap that I have that I'm going to use for that. So I do plan to start that one in the next month. So those are a couple. Those are my St. Patty's Day offerings. Like I said, oh, there's another one for sale at market that I want to get to by Annie the Proper Stitcher. I can't remember the name of it, but it's really sweet. It's a picture of a girl, and it's all Irish and 4-leaf clovers, and there's a sheep on it. Yeah, it's really cute. Go check that one out too if you're looking for a St. Patty's Day stitch. Okay, so other than that, I've got some haul plans. My plans are I'm going to focus on that round robin. I am also restarting. I'm joining the Long Dog Leap Year Sal since it's a leap year. I'm restarting Queen's Gambit. I'll put a picture up here by Long Dog Samplers. I am restarting it. I'm going to be using a beautiful hank of silk by Silks For You. I think it's PR034. So this weekend I've got to manage this and turn it into workable hanks. I'll be starting that on the Thursday I'm at market. So maybe I'll try to get up really early in the morning and restart that, because I want to start it on leap day. And then the idea is to have that done by the next leap year, which I hope I do because it's to commemorate my son's high school graduation, which is coming on, y'all. So it's a gift. So I'm hoping that will, you know, motivate me to get working on that. So that plan. And then also in March is going to be the first day of spring. And I have been working on kitting up Spring Quaker by Leela's Studio. Mine is zip, sorry. This is the chart. I'm going to start this on the first day of spring. Spring Quaker, and I'm going to stitch on this one in the spring, and then the first day of summer I'm going to start the summer, and the first day of fall I'm going to start the fall, winter. You get the idea, right? And I'm going to stitch on them every year some modicum of time in that every year until they're done. That's the game plan. So I'm working on kitting everything up. I think this is the fabric I'm going to use for this one. It is a Sleeping Bear. It's a 40 count Sleeping Bear by Needle and Flax. So far it looks good with all of the fancy floss that I picked up from my LNS. However, I'm waiting on one color to come in that I needed to order because I needed 3. The chart says you need 3 skeins of it. Roasted chestnut. And my LNS only had 2. And I didn't want to order... I didn't want to buy 2 and then have another one come in and the dye lot be off or something. I want to make sure they all look the same. So I am waiting on that to come in, and then I'll do a final floss toss and see if I'm going to settle on that fabric or not. But I love this one. So Samantha the Huga Stitcher actually started a stitch along last year. I think it was for her birthday. And I think it's something like #spring will come, something to that effect. Go to Samantha's website, not website, her Instagram or her FlossTube and check out that for more information. But I love this one. I love a Quaker. Very excited to get started on it. I love this basket. I love the fact that there's a basket with houses in it. That's super fun to me. It's living in this really pretty project made by Lynn X Stitches, this Mardi Gras theme. I love some New Orleans, y'all. And Lynn made this, and she actually did some shopping for me at the Sweater Weather Retreat because I couldn't go. I said, please, I need one of those, man. So I am, those are plans, you know. I think, sorry, I'm afraid I'm gonna miss something today. Yeah, I'm thinking that's pretty much the game plan, you know. Then all my regular stitching stuff. I do plan to be back in the next 2 weeks. I want to show you all some little bit of haul and then go over my needlepoint. Now, when I am at market, I'm going to attempt to post some pictures and videos on my Instagram. So y'all come on over to my Instagram and check it out. When I get back, I do usually do a market recap, or I have in the past. Maybe I'll do that again. That's pretty fun. People seem to find that interesting. All right, let me get my little box of goodies here. Boy, I've made a mess this time. All right, so I have some haul and some stitchy kindness. Let's start with, this is from my LNS that I picked up when I went over the weekend. I had this on order. I don't know why it took so long, the distributor to get it from, but I had this Autumn Quaker. Autumn is Joyful by Leela's Studios. It's been on order from them since it came out. So I'm so happy to get this one in the mail. This one is 270 wide by 215 high. And it's charted in DMC, and it is so pretty. I think I have fabric for it. I think I've got a piece of Furley by Needle and Flax. It's 40 count. I'm kind of trying to keep them all on Needle and Flax. I don't know why, just a similarity. All 40 count, all different colors, but I think that's the color that's going to work for it. We'll see when I pull all this floss and check it out a little bit closer to time, but love it. Love the turkey. The turkey's probably my favorite thing. I don't know. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right. So I picked up, oh, so here's the, no, I just picked up some of that. That's some of my spring Quaker floss. And then I just couldn't resist this one by With Thy Needle and Thread. This is a Brenda Gervais chart. Key to My Heart. I didn't have this Valentine's chart, and those bluebirds were just screaming at me because I saw a bluebird for the first time in my adult life ever, for the first time, just in the trees, flying around when I took Winnie to get groomed last Friday. I'd never seen a bluebird before, y'all. Blue jays, yeah, no, that's different. Bluebird, they are so blue they glow. I'm gonna pop a picture up from Google right here. Like, this is exactly what it looked like. When I got home, I Googled like bluebirds found in Memphis, Tennessee, and apparently it's the eastern bluebird, and I mean, gorgeous. There were a lot of birds in her neighborhood. Some cardinals and a bluebird and a blue jay and a dove. I know I saw a dove. So when I saw this on Saturday, I was like, you know, just to commemorate my first real life sighting of a bluebird. Must have. There are a few animals that I've seen in the wild that really stick with me. One time when we were on a road trip and we were in Eastern Oregon, just like on the side of the road, running along next to it, a badger. Real life, a badger. We couldn't believe it. So some of that stuff just kind of, but you're not expecting to see those animals out there. They're out there. It's awesome. Okay. All right, so let's see, what else did I get? Over on Instagram, Abby Bella Stitch. She has an Instagram and a FlossTube. She was doing a D-Stash. She has a D-Stash account. I found a few things I just couldn't do without. One of this is a older cottage garden samplings chart called Autumn in the Village. Oh, not cute. I love that willow tree. This is a copyright 2012. Yep. Let's see the dimensions on this one. 126 wide by 135 high. And it is DMC and not crescent colors, but that's what's on the chart. Classic color works now. I like that one. Another one is Carriage House Samplings Deer House. I love what that says. Yep. 70 wide, 115 high. Let's see, we've got some floss list on here. Gentle Arts, DMC. Yeah, love it. It's a copyright. Copyright 2013. Then this Told in the Garden chart. This is by Marilyn Levitt Emblem. That is the mom of Nora Corbett. She had 3 design companies: Told in the Garden, Butternut Road, and Lavender and Lace. And this is Strawberries Forever. Look at that. I love it. I love strawberries. So I have a few Told in the Gardens. I need to start working on at least one of them, right? And then she had 2 cross stitcher magazines that I was interested in. So these are older. I don't know what year. Can I show? But I love these like Art Nouveau looking ladies. I thought those were so pretty. They remind me of those, how do you say, the artist, is it a Czech artist, Muka? Yeah. Pretty, right? So that's pretty much why I bought this magazine. And this was their UK magazine. I don't even know. Oh, this is November 2008, I think. So, and then this one is called Cross Stitch Gold. It's issue number 27. And the one that I really like in this one, I think it was another lady. You know, I like the fancy ladies. This one was a medieval lady. Where is she? I want to show you. Yeah, she's got like an Italian Greyhound or a Whippet or something next to her. Look at that. Wow. So fancy. So fancy. So, yeah, I just picked up those 2 magazines. And that from the D-Stash. And then I was watching my friend Mary, a Mary Stitcher, and I don't remember if she's working on this one exactly. She might have been, but I was like, why don't I have one of these letters from Nora with my initial for my first name on it? So I got the letters from Nora S. Of course, this fairy's name is Samantha. It's not Sarah, but it's an S. So, and I have picked up it's like I got the beads and the floss and the Krynic. Yeah. So she's kitted up as far as that goes, except for she needs some linen. Now, a lot of the times, Mira's are kitted mostly with DMC, but some of these Noras and some of the little kits and stuff, they do some fancy floss. That's not the norm, though. Okay. And then my friend Tara, 805 Stitcher, posted a bag I could not resist. It's a French quarter bag. I love the fabric. It's so good. It's got a cute little flower pull on it. I love this. Love it, love it, love it. Tara. Tara is going to be at the Beach Please retreat with a bunch of fun people having a good time. I hope she enjoys that. That's a retreat being hosted by Stacy Thread the Needle Stitchery. Then my friend Leanne, Forbidden Fabric Co., brought me some goodies when we had our 901 Stitchers because she had gone to Disney World, and I asked her to bring me back some pins so I could turn them into needle minders. She's done that for me before when she went to Disneyland. I think that's so nice of her, and I especially love this Epcot one she got me. So good. So I do just like clip the backs of the pins off of there and then glue magnets to them and use them for needle minders. So then my friend Zan, she had gone into one of our favorite little vintage antique stores and on the way to stitch together and pick me up this sweet little brass bunny. Love it. Thank you, Zan. And if I didn't say Zan's Crazy Band Lady Stitches, she has a great FlossTube and an Instagram account as well. She's like my travel retreat bestie for sure. Yeah, I love that little bunny. Thank you, Zan. All right. Oh, and one more thing. I had a fabric of the month come in from GaRon Tote Bags. It's like a split fabric, so it's between Seraphim Fabrics and Fabrics by Stephanie. So every other month it's a different, it's like we're gonna get 6 from each dyer. This one's called Frozen Fractals. I'm not gonna take it out of the plastic because just the light color that it is, it's just gonna blow out anyway. So you get the idea, Frozen Fractals, right? Very, very pretty. All right. So that's my haul, y'all. So I'm gonna move on to some, if you're not interested, I'm gonna move on to a short little segment about needlepoint and we'll be done. So just basically, you know, market, tell me what your favorite is at market. You can tell me more than one, but definitely tell me at least your favorite from market for that giveaway. I'm just going to be busy and stitching and going to market and doing all the fun stuff. So if you want more frequent updates, follow me over on Instagram. I post a lot of my stories and on my grid over there. So my needlepoint. So my needlepoint project has been really interesting because I've had some insomnia lately, and I also have found that I don't really cross stitch in the bed, but I can needlepoint in the bed because, y'all, you don't have to count. It's a little bit bigger and the needle's big, and it's just it's not hard. So this is the needlepoint I've been working on, this little snowman. My aunt found a whole bunch of canvases at a thrift store out in Oregon and had sent them to me. And so this is my, like, she sent me this one. I mean, she paid like the whole stash. She paid less than $5 for this huge stack of needlepoint. And needlepoint canvases are not inexpensive. So really fun to learn on. Terry over there at my LNS Stitchers helped me kit this one up. And we have all sorts of beautiful fibers and floss. We've got Rainbow Gallery and Vineyard Silks, and we've got some pearl cotton and some Bellaluso and just all sorts of pretty things. And we made a plan of what kind of stitches I was going to use for each area. And I'm still working on this white. I'm using a Rainbow Gallery Petite Sparkle Rays for all of the snow. It is a very sparkly. And I am practicing my basket weave stitch. So all of the white is basket weave. And I think the last time you saw it, I kind of ended up here. So since then I've done this. And I mean, I may get up in the middle of the night and I may just like pull it out and stitch on it for just a few minutes, you know, but so it's not getting like a ton of dedicated attention. But I did take it with me to my son's orthodontist appointment today because I didn't have to deal with looking at a chart or anything while I was just working on it, you know. I mean, it's there. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm going to finish all that white, and then I've got some fun plans. I've got like a variegated threadworks floss that I'm going to do. I'm going to make this whole wreath of French knots. I'm going to use some beads. I'm going to use like a satin stitch on his hat band. Yeah, so this is exciting. I'm been working, not too much, just like I said, but it's fun to be able to like grab something in the middle of the night when I can't go back to sleep really easy and just sit there and stitch for a minute till I get sleepy again. And it's been a nice distraction. So yep, that's my needle point that I've been working on. However, my aunt did have a friend who was going through their stash, getting rid of some stuff, and passed on some old needlepoint canvases. So I got this beautiful, it is beautiful because my aunt wrote hearts on it, y'all. She always does something sweet on it. So yeah, anyway, and a little like an airmail sign going across by my address. And I just appreciate my aunt taking the time and energy to even, and the money, because it costs like $16 to mail this, and send me some stuff. So what we've got here, I actually went through this with some of the people that work at my LNS Stitchers here in Memphis. There was a needlework group there this week and a teacher and everything. And so, you know, I got some feedback on these canvases and what I should or shouldn't do. So she sent me a blank canvas, but this is not a mono canvas. It's interlocking, and that's kind of a thing of the past, and maybe I could practice on it, but probably not. Another one that I got is another little interlocking piece, but it's badly faded, and it's this one. I do love swans, but this is so faded, and it's brittle, and I don't know if that's going to be worth working on. But this one is another one she sent, and this one is actually I think this one is a canvas of a pelican, and it's all right, but there's another one that I want to stitch. So out of all of these, and there's probably two I want to stitch. This one is on a monofilament. There's that big old parrot. That would be fun to practice on for sure. It's huge. It's huge. But I really like this one. I like this one. This one is a brown pelican, and I don't know. The detail's really good in it. I like the lighthouse, so I think I do want to do this one someday. And the other one is so funky. I don't know. It's not on the mono canvas. It's on the interlock and stuff, which is just kind of weird. It's almost like a bendy Ada sort of thing. But okay, do you see this? This is giving me like retired mafia in Florida vibes. I don't know, from back in the day, right? I don't know. I like it. I like how those flamingos are all dark, and that's how it is before the sun goes down. And I like these funky colors. One of the ladies working there was like, it's kind of like very camouflage colors. I think you should change the colors, but I don't know. I kind of like the funky colors. I don't know if I'll ever work on it or not, but it's fun. I'm going to add it to my stash, and I do appreciate my aunt sending me some fun stuff to look at and go through and maybe mess with someday. It was very nice of her. Thank you, Aunt Susan. Yeah, I think that's it. I haven't done any more punch needle because I need to order some more of that Valdani floss. I need to put it on a list. That's like my to-do list. I need to do that. So I haven't done any more of the punch needle yet. I like it, but I haven't done any more of it. I think that's everything, y'all. If I forgot something, it's entirely possible, but I hope not. I hope not. I hope you've enjoyed yourself and maybe found some St. Patrick's Day things you want to stitch on, or you're thinking about stitching for St. Patrick's Day now. Maybe you're thinking about checking out what's going to be coming out for market. That's very exciting. I think that's everything, y'all. So I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day or night, whichever it may be. Take care, enjoy your stitching, and I will see y'all in 2 weeks. Thanks.